All right, what's up, Nightly Painters? Welcome back to the Nightly Painting Studio. My name's Corbin. It is really good to be with you today. It is Tuesday, February 4th of 2025, and yeah, we got some Tempestus Aquilons on the desk. You guys have seen me working on these already over the past couple of weeks. I'm finally able to do these, which is awesome. Yeah, so Jose, what's going on, man? What's up, dude? Good to see you in the chat. Yeah, excited for whoever's going to jump on tonight. I know I don't think I posted anything in the Discord, so I'll have to get better about that. But yeah, planning for these Tuesdays and Thursdays, and yeah, so I'm gonna end my day. I won't speak for everybody else. I'm gonna end my day with some painting, which is gonna be fun. So, and hanging out with you guys. That's always a blast. So, yeah. So I don't want to spend too much time just talking before diving right in. I want to make sure I can get some stuff done tonight. I have been working on these guys, y'all. Blacking in all the details that are not the orange armor on these takes for freaking ever. Oh, it takes forever. I have 6 of them done to the black stage. So I still have 4 more guys and the Sentry Bot. I forget what his actual name is. But yeah, it takes forever. So I'm going to try to work on some of the other details just to keep it interesting tonight. So I'll probably work on some of the leather, some of the pants, that kind of stuff, the grays. And I'll save the boring blacking in the details for when we're not streaming. So, but yeah, let me know what you're working on tonight or what project is on your desk. I would love to know that. Part of the reason I'm doing this is to build a community, and so if you have not already, I am going to drop our Discord link down in the chat. Would love to have you on there. Jose says he gets it. Definitely in a spot where my Templars where I'm avoiding the smaller details. Yeah. Well, you know, it's kind of for the longest time, people were like, new miniatures, Games Workshop, give us new miniatures. And then they gave us new miniatures, and it's like, these are amazing. And now I have to paint them, and they have so many details. The pouches, the cables, the lines, all the stuff that are on them. And Black Templars are, they're a lot. Because I mean, you got the if you have the pauldrons that have the sculpted detail on them, you have that to do. You have all the chains, you have all of the tabards, you have the little skulls that are all over the place. For some of them, they have the like Sword Brother symbols. That I mean, there's so much on the Black Templars, and so I get you, man. You get down into the details, it's like I gotta take these a couple at a time. That's honestly, if I was going back and doing a lot of my Templars again, that's kind of how I would do things. I'd probably just take like 2 or 3 models at a time and just finish them. That way you kind of get the like dopamine hit of finishing them. You're like, yes, I can do some more. So might recommend that. Try it, see if it works for you. I was worried about consistency, but I feel like once you get past like the armor and all that kind of stuff, like if you have your recipes, you're probably going to do it the same way, or at least similar enough that from 1, 2, 3 feet away, you're never going to notice if there's little things that are different. And that's very hard for my perfectionist in me to say. So, hopefully those go really well for you. If you ever need anything, hit me up on the Discord. But I'm going to pop over to the desk cam here, and we're going to get started painting. Obviously keep chatting. Got Jose with me in the chat. We're hanging out. And anybody else watching this, whether you are watching this live with me or you're watching this back later, I think being a part of the whole reason I'm doing this is so that we can build this community and so we can encourage each other. So let me know what you're working on. Head over to the Discord, hang out with us, talk, post those whips, those work in progress photos and stuff. We love to see it. So, all right, I'm gonna jump over. I'll be right back. Of course. I don't know why it always does this to me. There we go. Now you can see stuff better. Sweet. What I'm gonna be putting my focus on tonight is just a really simple leather recipe, and I'm actually gonna pull this kind of over like that. I'm gonna be using two colors here, and these two colors, it's Rhinox Hide from Citadel, and then it is Ice Yellow from Model Color. And what this is going to do is, obviously we're going to base coat the leather pieces with this Rhinox Hide. This is kind of a go-to recipe for me. And then we're going to keep it a little more on the saturated side with this, but still like making that nice highlight. So we're going to do that. So we'll just mix in a bit of this with the Rhinox Hide to get our leather highlight. I don't think you really need to do any more than the one highlight on these. If you really want to go nuts, then you do you. But I feel like I have never really seen the payoff especially for like gaming stuff. Now, if you're doing display, that's a whole different story, or competition pieces or whatever it is. But yeah, for gaming stuff, there's no need. Absolutely no need. Alright, just making sure you guys can see everything well. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to start laying down some of these Rhinox Hide base coats. And this is just going to go on all of the leather parts. The buckles, the straps, the boots. These kind of boot cover things. So, I mean, you can see on this one, I did pretty much the entire boot with that, and I think it turned out pretty well, so I'm going to do that again. You could, if you wanted to, just do this kind of cover piece. You could do that if you wanted to create some varying tones on the boot, but I'm just gonna do the whole thing. I think that brown really goes nicely with the green earthy tones that are sprayed onto the base. And I haven't really figured out exactly what I'm doing with the basing. I wanted to do all of the basing at the same time for these guys. But what I wanted to do with them really was not necessarily like that the terrain that they're in is going to be green, but I wanted it to have green undertones. It'll probably be lots of like grays and greens, kind of more like an overgrown rubble style look to it. But with the orange armor, I was like, I want to pick a contrasting color for the base. It always works really nicely to help the models stand out off of the base that they're on if it's a contrasting color. So there you go, a little bit of color theory for you tonight. And it's not really that I know, all that much about color theory and art and all that. I just happened to take some art lessons when I was a kid. And very much enjoyed it. I think that's probably why I have enjoyed painting miniatures so much, but So just laying down these base coats, it's gonna look still just, you know, I guess rough isn't the word, but incomplete as I'm roughing in these base coats, because I mean it's kind of a rough stage right now. There's a lot of little leather straps on these guys, so finding that nice leather recipe is going to be really helpful. You don't want it to be super bright leather, because you don't want it to take away from any of the use your words, Gordon. You don't want it to take away from any of the brightness of the armor or anything like that. Like, I want this orange armor to be, thank you, Jose, I appreciate that. I want the orange armor to be the focal point, the highlight, the thing that stands out on these. So I'm really not trying to go crazy with a leather recipe here. What I'm looking to do is create something that is, in this case, it's going to be warm. The gray of the pants is going to be cool, so that's instantly going to stand out. It's going to make that brown leather stand out a little bit versus the gray of the fatigues that are underneath. And then, you know, it's also going to make it stand out against it's gonna be warm with the orange tones. So yeah, there's that. Okay, so this guy's pretty much done as far as I can tell. I don't see any more leather on him, so he's gonna be done. And we're gonna move on to this one now. Yeah, you know, it's funny, Jose, so I picked the orange because I was like, you know what, that Kill Team orange is really calling to me. That was, you know, all over the box and the branding and stuff. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do these guys orange. And honestly, I'm really liking this game. I haven't painted an orange scheme before, so I'm pretty happy with how it's coming out. But I have to say, I did a test model for this. This is the test model, and I think the test model came out really well. But you can tell the difference in the oranges from the test model to the other airbrushed minis. So that's one thing that I'm like, well, hopefully it's not a big enough a difference to really be able to tell that particular mini out of all the rest of them. I don't really think it will be, but I was kind of like, man, I didn't quite copy that color correctly through the airbrush. So the orange that I used, I think I'll probably put out a tutorial. I've been filming as I go with most of these steps, and the ones that I haven't are caught on streams, so I can get to them. But the orange is this Fire Dragon Bright from Citadel, and it's just thin layers through the airbrush over a zenithal highlight, and underneath that zenithal I actually used the Bargnar Burgundy so as the shadow tone. So yeah, it's kind of got like reddish maroony undertone to it. So what's up, Squigburger? Welcome to the stream. It's good to see you tonight. Would love to know what you are working on. What hobby project is on your desk? Always curious to know what other people's projects are. So just going around here painting all these leather straps. So it's interesting for these, for the armor on these, it actually seems like it seems to me that they have like almost like a carapace armor, but then over the top of it they have, and I think it's like this with the Scions as well. They have strapped on an additional armor plate here on the front. At least that's what it looks like to me. Maybe someone who's more familiar with the lore for the Scions can help me with that. But all right, am I streaming from the West Coast? No, I am over on the East Coast actually. I am in sunny Florida. So it's about 11. Yeah, it's a little past 11 here, so PM. Gonna get some of these leather straps in here. Yeah, it is late. Yeah, I'll be streaming till about 11:30 my time. Then heading to bed. Got work in the morning. But for my honestly, it's just kind of how my schedule is working right now. I have a 20-month-old, and trying to be a good parent and spend all the time with the wife and the kid that I can. And when they head off to sleep Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm staying up with you guys and get some stuff done. Hobby life as a parent is much different. When it was just my wife and I, she'd be like, spend time with me, and then we'd spend some time together, and be like, you want to do what each of us wants to do? And be like, yep. And I'd go paint for a couple hours, and she'd watch a movie or whatever she was gonna do. And yeah, it is not quite so simple now with the kids. So as I'm sure any parents out there can understand. Some people have, created the dream where their kids like doing the hobby stuff with them, and props to them. But my 20-month-old can barely use her spoon correctly, so trying to get her to paint would probably be a bit tough. But I have to say, she is interested in my models. I make it a regular habit to let her explore in the hobby space. Like, ooh, what's this? And make it seem really interesting. She's like, oh. You gotta get them early. My wife would be a Disney princess, though, if she could, so I think I know how the nerd versus girly girl competition, we'll put it that way, is going to play out in my house. That's okay. Y'all just learned a lot about me that you probably didn't care to know, but there you have it either way. It's real life. This takes so much less time than those just freaking blacking in all these details. It just takes forever. Yeah, I get that. Well, and you want them to be who they're going to be and be interested in what they're interested in, and you want to support that. Or don't, and just live vicariously through your children. That works too, I guess. But not quite the route I think my wife and I are going to take. So y'all are getting unfiltered Corbin tonight. Enjoy. So I mean, it's so funny. Realistically, like I am in the time that it takes me to do the blocking in of the black paint on one of these dudes, I am knocking out the base coating of the leather on 4. It's just so much of these guys is not their armor, which is really good. I think it creates a lot of space that isn't the same, and you can have different materials, different textures if you want. Separation between the different sections of the model, which is really great. It's really great. I think a lot of times Space Marines are actually tough because it's a lot of the same thing, and so you just end up painting a lot of armor, and they can be uninteresting if you're not careful. Not only to actually physically paint, but they can just be uninteresting to look at too. So creating the depth, I think that's why I like the Black Templars as Space Marines quite a bit, because they have so many different details and so many different types of areas on the model that you really get a very unique looking and interestingly detailed mini once you get everything painted. So yeah, I think they did that very well too, Jose. Like realistically, you want your eye to be drawn around the miniature. You want to look at all the details. Like they don't sculpt all this stuff on here so you can ignore it. It's supposed to look cool, and it's supposed to have a lot of realism to it, even though it's a scale model of what they're actually trying to represent. yeah, I thought they did a really good job on these, and I'm trying to learn Kill Team, honestly. It's kind of an effort to, you know, actually find a game that I have the time to play in the Warhammer universe. If I'm honest, I actually prefer I prefer 40K. If I'm really gonna play something, I love 40K, but I do not have the time for it. I do not have the cash for it. Trying to paint an army of that size is just, it's so difficult. So I had to make the hard call, and I came to the conclusion that, like, I need to focus my efforts, and you know, I mean, realistically, boarding actions, yeah, come on, man. Man, if you're anywhere close to Florida, I feel like I bought the boarding actions book. I have boarding actions terrain that I've started painting. I really like boarding actions, but no one plays it in my area, so I either have to create the group or not play. So honestly, I think boarding actions is probably one of the coolest things that they've done, and most Warhammer things they've done. Oh, San Diego. Oh. Oh man. Yep, that is the opposite side of the country. Do you have a good gaming group out there that has jumped into it with you, or do you have kind of like a couple buddies that you play with? Oh, okay. Yeah, I see you're already answering me. No, that's good. I really enjoy narrative play. I had the opportunity a number of years ago to go to Nova Open, and I used to live up in Pennsylvania, so it wasn't terribly far for us to get there. And so I ended up going to the Nova Open, and I actually was I was doing Age of Sigmar at the time, and I had an Ideneth Deepkin army. It was pretty quickly after that had come out. I had a lot more time on my hands, and so I was able to get that army done fairly quickly. It was a good sized force, but I took it to the Grand Narrative event at Nova, and that's where I was kind of like, okay, like I'm not like a super competitive gamer, even though I enjoy being good at the game. Like I'm not. I don't want to go play in the competitive scene. It's just that doesn't bring me a lot of life. But playing a competent game with people who enjoy having fun and telling a story, like that's really what I enjoy about the gaming side of things. And so it can be kind of tough to find that, I feel like, especially where I'm at. So my local game store, Warpfire, it has a lot of really high level competitive players that play there. It's one of the larger online retailers, and so I think they attract a lot of really great players because they have great customer service and generally have stuff in stock. So shameless plug for the local game store. But yeah, I'm gonna catch up here on the chat. I was moved a few blocks away from a Games Workshop store. Nice. I don't play much. Seems to be a good sized game community in town. Good. Yeah, how does the narrative work at something like Nova? Okay, well, I can only speak from my experience, and it was back in 2019, so things may have changed since then, so take what I say with a grain of salt. The narrative event, you brought your army, and they actually had us convert up a leader for our army. So it had to be a special character that we created. There were some stipulations and guidelines around how that was done. And then we just played a series of games against generated opponents. So they just kind of randomly paired us up with different people, and it was up to us at the table to kind of figure out, like, hey, why are we fighting? What's my character's objective in this fight? If I win, what happens? If I lose, what does the opponent gain? That type of stuff. It was actually really cool to be able to do that. I'm going to stop right there and just talk for a minute because I'll be able to focus more on the question at hand. Yeah, let's switch right over here. Yeah, so it was really cool, actually. So I made a special character for the Deepkin. It was one of the it was like the magic, like the caster model. I can't remember what it was called, but tide caster. I think it was a tide caster. Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly what my forces were trying to do, but basically there was a game master or event coordinator who kind of acted as a game master, And so, you know, he kind of handled managing each player's objectives and progress towards those objectives, which was it was really neat, actually. So I think we played a series of 6 or 7 games over 2.5 days, and yeah, they all had various different things, but really it was just like you talking with your opponent and kind of creating a storyline, and then you would play a game. Sometimes they were full 2,000 points, sometimes they were half, sometimes they were 1,500. There was a team game at one point where you paired up with another player that was on your general side. So like, I think they had the forces of order, chaos, and destruction, I think is what they ended up splitting them as. So yeah, that was really cool. And at the end of it too, I'll have to find some photos and throw them up in the Discord. But at the end of it, I think there were 22, 23 players. And so what they did was they set up I believe it was at least 18 feet of a castle wall, like fully 3D printed and painted, like giant castle wall. And we played a siege game, so the forces of order were defending, and the forces of chaos and destruction were attacking. And you know, it was all kind of tied together in this big narrative, like overarching narrative, and then each faction had its own objectives within that. And so I remember I was able to send like a whole unit of my eels through a gate all the way to the other side of the board, and I was able to take out a specific orc warlord that had the, you know, like the key to my personal objective. And so it was like having all these little things set up into place, happened to work out all at the right time, and I was able to make that play. It was a fun thing. Very, very cool format. Ended up actually getting best painted there for that event as well. So that was fun. I had a blue, green, orange, and purple themed Deepkin. So the orange and purple were accent colors, and the blue green was kind of the main color. So yeah, it was fun. I could see it being very easy to do something like that with 40K as well, and I know they have narrative events at a lot of the different the larger conventions. So yeah, it was pretty great. Well, hey, I got just a few more minutes on here. I see we have a number of people watching. What questions do you guys have about painting, about Tempestus Aquilons, about processes, anything like that? I got a couple minutes that I can field some questions if y'all have any. So wait for the chat here to catch up. Or, you know, you could always put like what project you're working on. Have you had any experiences at a convention with like a big either narrative or tournament? Let me know in the chat. me see here. Yep, there it is. My claim to fame. So there are a lot of I feel like the narrative folks, they really take their armies seriously as well. So that's always a really cool thing about going to events like that. So yeah, ain't won nothing since then, so it must have been a fluke. Just gonna see if I can find anything from my Deepkin army that I could throw up on the screen for y'all to see, but I don't think I have anything on my computer right now. Yeah, they were like super bright though. Yeah, it was cool. And I did like actually there's a tutorial on my YouTube channel that you can go check out to see some of them. But I did a tutorial on the ocean bases that I did. It was the whole army was kind of like looked like it was coming up out of the water. This like deep green blue water, so right up onto the beach. So it's kind of like half beach, half shallow water, which was pretty awesome. So it was a fun project. Had to make a display board too. That was definitely interesting. I have not made one of those since. I think it'd be cool to do like little display boards for the kill teams that I paint. It'd probably be pretty fun. Might have to do that. Cool. It's about 11:35 here. I keep yawning, so I'm gonna pop off here and call it a night. But Jose, Squigburger, thank you both for hanging out with me tonight. This was a lot of fun. Made some progress. Got some leather done on the almost done. On these guys. Really did not take nearly as long as painting in all the black. So yeah, just goes to show, like, once you do that black stage on these guys, like it really makes a lot of the other work quite a bit easier. So less coats that you have to do for the other stuff. So yeah, I will be streaming again this Thursday, barring any unforeseen issues. So right around the same time, 10:30 Eastern time here in the US. So would love to see all of you back here then. If you have not subscribed to the channel, subscribe, hit the little notification icon, like this video. It just helps to get this community out there and in front of people who are like-minded and want to be a part of it. So that would be a huge gift to me if you've enjoyed the stream. And then also want to invite you to the Discord community. Our Discord is a growing community, but there's a ton of great people in there who have some really fun projects going on. Anything from Games Workshop painting projects to 3D printing to dioramas. There is all kinds of stuff on that Discord, and I would love for you to be a part of it. So, go hit that Discord up. That link is coming to you right now. Obviously, for free to join. There's none of that. I do offer some different things. So if you're interested at all in one-on-one painting coaching or anything like that, I do offer things like that. But I really just want this to be a fun space for people to be able to share their work, get feedback from other people, and encourage each other in this hobby that we all love. So thanks for being a part of the stream tonight. I hope you have a great rest of your day, however long that is, and I will catch you on Thursday evening for the next live stream as we keep working on these Aquilon Tempestus models. Have a great night, and we'll see you then.